Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. I'm Yashira.
I'm Pedro.
And today we're going to be talking about 4 ways that you can know if somebody is right for you. So let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
And quick disclosure, these are 4 ways, but this doesn't necessarily mean that these are the only ways that God will confirm that the person is right for you. But hopefully these 4 ways will help you to determine if the person that you're getting to know right now is right for you.
Number 1 is going to be things just flows. You don't need to force anything. Whenever you guys want to hang out, anything is just gonna, be natural. You don't have to be like, oh my God, I have to make time, all this and that. No, it's gonna happen. That's something that we do have to look at. If you're forcing things to meet with this person, it's like, so what are you doing?
For sure. I think obviously there's gonna be some roadblocks from time to time, but if you notice that every time you want to link up with this person or every time y'all plan to do something, there's always something. That's something to pay attention to. Now, again, things could pop up here and there, but all the time where it's consistent, things aren't just flowing, or things don't feel like they need to be forced, I think that's an indicator. I remember when we first, literally our first time hanging out, came to help me and my mom out with this, plugging up this washing machine.
Hold on, you wanted to see me that day. She called for me.
I didn't call for nobody.
So
we literally, the lady gave us the washing machine and she said, oh, Pedro can go and help you install it. I'm like, all right.
You called for me.
Person offered for you to come help us. Again, it wasn't forced. I didn't have to call nobody. I didn't have to be like, let's try to force this thing and make it happen so he can come over. Literally nothing was forced. It just flowed. And he ended up at my house to help me with a dryer. And then when we tried to plug it in, it wasn't the right plug or whatever.
The right cord.
Yeah, so then we had to go to Walmart. And Walmart didn't have the plug. Then we had to go to this store. We were just we spent hours together that first day unintentionally. And I was like, this is weird because this don't usually happen. When I actually want to hang out and do the things or whatever, it just feels forced. But with this, it was just flowing. And I was like, okay, that's something to pay attention to.
Don't force anything because you don't know why you have to force it, so.
Yeah, if you got to force things, you might want to pay attention to that. That might be a red flag. So number 2, your parents are in agreement. Now, we know that not everybody's parents are in their lives or care as much about who you're dating, but some parents do. And for me personally, that was such a big deal because my mom was very involved in that topic for me. She wanted to make sure that I married a good man. And when he came in the picture, everything again, it just flowed because I'm like, okay, his situation was a little complicated. He had been married before and he also had children. So I was waiting. He had 2 girls. So I was waiting. Specific. Okay. Can you leave me alone? Lord. So I was waiting for that rebuttal from my mom. Are you sure? You don't have kids. But that never happened. She just immediately loved him. And for me, that was a big deal. So I feel like if your parents are not in agreement with the relationship, that's a red flag for me personally because I feel like your parents want the best for you. And also just analyze how your parents are because some people have parents that don't like them and don't actually want the best for them. That's people's real life situations. But if you know your parents have always been there for you, they've always wanted the best for you, and for whatever reason they don't like the specific person that you're dealing with, you need to pay attention to that.
For me, I didn't grow up with my mom, so when I met her mom, she took me like a son since day one, and that was a blessing for me. Her mom has been amazing. The way that she looked out for me, and just took me in her family, it was amazing. That was definitely a sign from God. And number 3 is they fit what you're looking for in a person. Before I met her, I met her before, right? And then God took me far away for a little bit. But within that year, I was praying to God for a great woman, right? For somebody that want to get married, for somebody that, can take my daughters into the family, and I was specific for what I was praying. And then when I met her, I was like, dang. I was looking for a great woman, a woman that, can be fun to be around, and you know, and when I just met her, I was like, wow, you know, this is what I asked God for, you know, and that was one of the answers too.
That is so important. I feel like oftentimes we, as women especially, we gravitate to whoever gravitates toward us and not even realizing like, hold up, this is not what I asked for. This was not on the list. This is not even what I want. It's just maybe a good looking man that's saying all the right things. And maybe he has good intentions, but you have to make sure that it's what you want. At least for me, at a point in my life, I was like, oh yeah, I don't want to date a man with no kids, blah, blah, blah. But as the years went on, I feel like God prepared me for that. And it softened my heart and my desires around that area where I was like, you know what, if he has children, like that's not a big deal to me. It just depends on the baby mama situation. Like that's a big deal. You just have to know what you desire. The other person, they could literally be an amazing person. But if it's not what you want, if you feel like you're forcing your feelings toward this person, if you feel like you have to force certain things that this person has because you don't like it, but you're like, I'm trying. Like, that's where you have to pay attention to that.
Yes, and also when I met her for the first time, you know, her friend, I mean, what she told me was that her friend told her like, oh, look at that guy that came to church today. And she's like, oh, he's cute, but he got daughters.
He got kids.
You know, so it's like,
no kids.
I push her back. But God took me to a separate place for a whole year, right? And He changed my life. That whole year that I was by myself, right? And He changed me. He transformed me, right? And then when He brought me back, you know, to the same church that we met at for the first time, you know, then we started talking, and everything just started flowing, you know. We started getting together, hanging out.
Yeah, everything flowed, and I feel like had he approached me at that time when we first met,
it would have been her lost.
I wouldn't have been interested because at that time I was not prepared.
It would have been your lost.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
What you want, a cookie?
No, give me a candy.
Lord. But I would not have been prepared. I would have been like, yeah, it's all good. But however, so I feel like even during that time that he was working on him, he was working in my heart too in that area. Just always keep in mind what you want. What you want matters. It's not just what the other person.
When you meet somebody, always think about what you want. Is this what I'm looking for, right? You know, that's that person that you're gonna marry, that person that you're gonna spend the rest of your life with. It's that person that I want in my life, in my future, for the rest of my life.
And number 4, pray for specific confirmation. The person you marry, it's honestly going to be one of the biggest decisions of your life. So you definitely want to involve God in that equation because He created you. He knows exactly what you need. Involve God and ask Him for specific confirmation. I personally asked God for something very specific in my own life. My pastor, I was talking to her and she advised me, this was years ago, way before he came in the picture. I was in another relationship and she told me, just ask God for something specific, something that won't normally happen, right? And obviously, if this thing doesn't happen, it also doesn't mean that person is not for you. But God will show you in other ways, but this is something that you can also do. So I asked God, I was like, okay, if this person is for me, I want Him to give me a rose on this specific day during this specific event. And it didn't happen that way. Obviously, I wasn't like, oh, well, it didn't happen. That's it. He ain't the one. No. But there were other things that I was already noticing, right? Eventually, on a random Tuesday, I don't know, He gave me a fake rose. And I was like, And everything else that the person was doing was...
served better than a fake rose.
I know. I prayed for that in that relationship, but because it didn't happen, I still kept that specific confirmation. Mind you, if you're gonna do this, you gotta do it in your head. Don't be telling people. Keep it in your mind because when it happens, you know that it was God. Because if you said it, then you're gonna have doubts, right? But if only you and God know this, you're gonna know that was God. I keep the same thing. Like whoever is for me is gonna do this. I was getting to know somebody else, and I prayed that prayer, and the person made me a rose out of paper. Out of paper. Wow. I was like, oh Lord, yeah, this ain't the one. God be showing me. Like, he shows you through random stuff. And of course, other things were also happening.
It's way better than a paper rose.
I know. I know. But when this fella came into the picture, he was very intentional. And from day one, mind y'all, he hadn't even told me that, oh, I like you, I want to get to know you. He was like, what's your job's address? And I was like, I don't even know you like that. I can't give you. He's like, just trust me. I'm like, oh my God, okay. And he sends me a bouquet of red roses, real red roses. And I said, oh.
That's for all those men that was giving you paper and fake roses. You see?
No shade, no shade to nobody, you know, but you know, that's what I was praying for. God gave me that specific confirmation. Just to encourage you, like, ask God to show you something specific, and he will speak.
Yeah. And obviously nothing is perfect when you guys know each other, right? Because in between our relationship we broke up. That's another video for another day. But you know, we broke up, and another way that God showed us that, you know, we right for each other was that we went to my boss' wedding. At the moment, he was my boss, and the table was purple. Everything, all the decoration was purple.
Burgundy.
It was burgundy, right? Everything. And then when we go there, she has a burgundy dress, and I have a burgundy shirt.
It was burgundy and pink.
It was burgundy and pink.
The wedding was burgundy and pink, and my dress was burgundy and pink, and he had on a burgundy shirt. For clarification, we were broken up at this time, but the wedding had already, he had already gotten invited to the wedding, so he still wanted me to go with him. I'm like, I want to go with you, but I still went.
We get there, right, and everybody's looking at us like, who's these people, right? Our outfit, it was like the same.
Like if we was a part of the wedding.
If we was a part of the wedding, if we was like, I don't know, but when we got in there, it was like, oh my God. I felt uncomfortable. You know, because he's just my boss, you know, and I'm like, I'm meditating there. I'm like, what's that coincidence, right? That we come to this wedding, right? And we are dressed like the same decoration of the wedding. The following weekend, right? We went to a retreat or to a service. I met a friend there, and when we talking, he told me the wedding, or like the color of his wedding, and it was the same color that we was dressed as. So I'm like, okay, yeah, well, that's another confirmation. So since we were broken up, I was like, okay, God, I'm gonna have patience. You know, I'm gonna wait on you, and then you're just gonna fix everything. You know, and I just waited, and look where we are with a almost 4 years old.
I know, it's crazy. But yeah, I think even in the midst of us, definitely in the midst of us being broken up, that's when we were praying really hard, because something happened that we will talk about later if you guys want to hear that story. But something happened where we were not together, so we were obviously praying to see what we should do. Like, should we get back together? Should we keep doing this? So little things like that definitely, you know, caught our attention. Like, okay, God,
yes,
you know.
Yes.
So yeah, God will speak through anything. So like I said earlier, these are some ways that God will speak if you are praying and asking God for confirmation. Just look out for different things, because God speaks in different ways. We can't put God in a box. Let me just tell y'all real quick. We had all these confirmations, but we also had people saying the opposite.
Oh yeah.
Like, someone told me, like, he's not the one for you. So you really have to be careful, because this season where you're praying for confirmation and you're praying to see if that person is right for you, it can be confusing. It can be frustrating, because all you want to do is make the right choice. You just have to really, really be praying and see what God is telling you. So these are some ways that God will speak if you're in your praying season, to see if this person is right for you. Again, these are not the only ways that God speaks. We can't put God in a box.
Also, if you are praying, right, and like she said, you know, somebody told her that I wasn't the right person for her, right? So if somebody tells you that, don't make a decision right away. Pray, meditate, you know, because you don't know if that's from God or if that's from the enemy. You know, we're not going to take everything that we receive right away.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, somebody told me you're not the right person for me. Get out of my sight.
Or somebody tells you, oh no, that's the one for you. That's the one.
Oh yes, I want him. No. You know, that's why there's only not one way. There's different ways. You know, so,
I had a lot of that too.
Exactly. So, you know, just, and also have faith, right? And love each other if that's the right person for you. You want a flower?
Sure. You always get me flowers now.
I do, right?
But anyways, you guys, thank y'all so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in. If you guys like videos like this, let us know in the comments, and we will continue to make other videos. We already have some in the works for you guys, so stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, comment, and share this video with somebody who this might help. Thank y'all for watching.
Bye-bye.
Bye.